Listen, so the biggest night for TV happened once again at the 76 Emmys, and it actually wasn't that bad, because I'd actually recommend watching everything that won. Let me explain.
Some of you might be expecting us to make a joke about whether The Bear is really a comedy. But in the true spirit of The Bear, we will not be making any jokes.
So for starters, it was an incredible year of nominees for the comedy series because Abbott Elementary has been really good. What We Do in the Shadows has kind of been underrated with it not winning too many stuff. And even Curb Your Enthusiasm wrapped up this year. But for the most part, they were able to divide it between two shows, with Hacks getting a couple of awards when it came to writing, which kind of got the people from The Bear a little worried, thinking they weren't going to win. But I love this trio because they go up there and play rock, paper, scissors for who's going to speak. On top of that, it also got outstanding lead actress for Jean Smart, who beat out Quinta and Ayo, and honestly, rightfully so, because I think she is the best out of all of them.
Casey and Sarah and everybody at HBO, I'm sorry.
But it was still The Bear that came in breaking records, with it getting outstanding guest actors for John Bernthal and Jamie Lee Curtis. They were worried about the writing one, but they still got best directing for That Fishes episode, and they even got lead actor for Jeremy Allen White, which at this point, the debate has been about whether it is a comedy or not, and you can just see that the comedy actors are not having it for a guy who's got the most dramatic speeches. But when it comes to Cousin winning supporting actor, everyone looks the other way, and they even had him immediately afterwards looking schlumped for that Johnny Walker ad they did.
Join me. I checked. It's okay to have a drink and present responsibly.
The biggest surprise of the night, though, would have been for supporting actress for Liza Colón-Zayas, who won and had everyone on their feet. And I love awards where even the competition, those against them, smile more for them winning than if they would have gotten the gold. And I know that the way that they submitted for actors is that they submit one episode, which is why she's not that big in the season, but they submit for one. And considering that she's got an even better episode in season 3, it'll be interesting to see what they do next year. On top of that, finding out that she's married to her on-screen husband, adorable.
Other women, my mommy, I thank you. You've always my family, my grandkids.
Like I said, The Bear was breaking records from its last season, but even with that, it didn't win the big one.
The Emmy goes to Hacks.
Now listen, I get the debate and it's going to continue happening, but to me, if I'm being honest, it's a show that has jokes, but it's not rooted in jokes, right? And if you look at the specific episodes they submit, it is for the drama. I gotta be honest, you can sense that people are not liking the way that they're playing with categories because everyone plays with categories. Just like a Succession. That's one that did the opposite because everyone focuses on the comedy that brought, but because it was from Adam McKay and co, and they wanted to package it like a drama, they were able to get more prestige out of it. But if you think of any line you've ever quoted from that show, it's a punchline.
I love you, but you are not serious people.
Moving on to the limited or anthology series, we had the best TV movie, which went to Quiz Lady, which is just insane to find out that this is Sandra Oh's first Emmy win after all those years of Killing Eve and a little show called Grey's Anatomy. And while an Emmy win is an Emmy win, I look at this category, what was it going up against? Unfrosted? Was it neck and neck with Mr. Monk's Last Case, a Monk movie?
What are the odds of that?
We then got a variety of wins with Best Supporting Actor, beating out Robert Downey Jr., as it went to Lamorne Morris, a.k.a. Deputy Wit.
A.k.a. Winnie the Bitch.
And his speech was great because it was so genuine. You could just tell. This is a dude next door who actually was surprised that he won. And he even played off of his daughter's viral video where she was goofing on him for crying over getting the nomination.
My beautiful daughter, Lily, I love you. I told you I would do it. You've always doubted me. I'm your hero. I'm your leader.
It also may be the first time that I've ever seen someone shout out their podcast in a speech. Again, I highly recommend season 5 of Fargo and really all of it because I also thought John Hamm and Juno were crazy good in this. It's just overall a must-watch. After that, they had lead actress go to Night Country since they wanted to award that series for telling the stories of Native people, by giving it to Jodie.
I love you so much, Issa Lopez, La Reina.
The Ripley series on Netflix also won for directing, and rightfully so, since it has some of the best looking and well-crafted shots, and it also has some solid acting from Dakota Fanning and Andrew Scott. But for the rest of the categories, baby Reindeer domineered.
Blinking heckers. I've tried so many times to put into words what working on Baby Reindeer meant to me, and I fail every time. So I'm going to sing. No.
Best Supporting Actress went to Jessica Gunning, who completely embodied that role and took it over. People are still scared when they see her up on stage. But the fact that she was able to get it from 3 iconic actors who have played villains was super dope.
For me,
The downside is trying to have a nice, quiet, fine dining experience, and drug dealers start asking for advice on how to build their empires.
After that, the lead actor went to Richard Gadd. He also got writing. He then got the Outstanding Award for Best Limited Series. And again, while I love Fargo, this one was a runaway hit. Like, everyone, including my stalker, was texting me about it.
I forgot to thank you guys on the last round, so I'm so glad I get another chance to do it again. Thanks to all the people I mentioned previously as well. I'd like to thank my mom and dad, glaring omission from the previous one as well.
Probably the weakest part of the show would be the presenters. You know, they had the Fonz come out for a Happy Days reunion with Ron Howard, who they were shouting out for making so many great things, from Beautiful Mind to his docs to Bryce Dallas. They had TV dads and moms presenting. Sometimes they would get the mic working, sometimes not. And having the father-son duo of hosts, I didn't think was bad for the most part.
Without question, my most rewarding dad role ever has been being your dad. In Schitt's Creek.
Around the midway point, they also had the boys just come out and speak Spanish since they knew that the viewers were dropping. John Leguizamo called out the BS that the Emmys have done before by then becoming a spokesperson for the Emmys. But then we had the most serious part of the night.
And now, joining us in tribute to the members of our television family we've lost, Jelly Roll.
I definitely didn't predict that.
What, the new tattoo?
Some of the categories that really got expanded just to help the winners that were already getting them was the reality and variety shows. They gave Best Outstanding Game Show to Jeopardy, but then honored Pat Sajak since he's about to retire as host for Wheel of Fortune. There was The Traitors that came out of nowhere to beat a lot of the other reality competitions, and I haven't caught up on that, but I might just have to since Alan Cumming was swagged out there. Only Murders in the Building has not won any of the big ones, but they won for like a short-form comedy that I don't think fans even know about. Shout out Eric Andre for finally winning an Emmy for the Eric Andre Show. He was out there doing his best. And then Dick Van Dyke won one for a variety special. How is Dick Van Dyke still alive? As for writing for a variety special, it went to Alex Edelman's Just For Us, which was one of those stand-ups that got to charge more because they took it to Broadway, where he was talking about exposing groups that think Jews infiltrate everything by being the Jew that infiltrates them.
Jews are sneaky and they're everywhere! And I was like...
As far as the category for Best Outstanding Variety Special that was live, I thought they had some pretty good picks in here because the Tom Brady roast was pretty solid. It even got Nikki Glaser to now host a Golden Globes gig that's coming up. Usher's halftime show was so good that guys have been getting bothered to buy tickets ever since. But it had to go to the Oscars because it was one of the best telecasts that they've had in a while. Moving on to some of the other ones, there was Outstanding Talk Series that went to The Daily Show since this man was hosting once a week. They even got a close-up of Seth Meyers, who was ready to start night drinking. A bunch of SNL members then came up to do a mini roast of Lorne Michaels to make fun of him for losing so many times when it's just mere weeks out from him getting a movie about how he started this show to begin with. The Outstanding Scripted Variety Series went to John Oliver, who also got writing, and he dedicated his award to his dog, which was so good, they added some extra seconds on the clock.
Perfect choice of music. We had to say goodbye to her. And, fuck you, there you go. It is. I feel like Sarah McLachlan right now.
Then we move on to the dramas. I need to start watching Mr. and Mrs. Smith because I keep forgetting that Michaela Cole's in it, and she won for Best Guest Actress. On top of that, supporting actor for a drama series went to Billy Crudup for The Morning Show. One, I did not realize he was married to Naomi, but two, what's up with this show always getting noms when I feel no one's watching it? For supporting actress, they did Divine dirty when she was up there presenting it because they put a holdover on the nominee video.
Now let's take a look at their collective achievement. Here are the Christine Baranski.
Obviously, it went to Elizabeth Debicki, who's been winning it for all the other award shows. So when she went up there and she didn't have a speech, like, girl, you know you've been winning. Your show's got writers. Prep a speech.
I didn't write anything down because I'm very superstitious and now I'm in a real pickle, so I'm going to do this quickly.
Another one I need to add to my watch list is Slow Horses, which won an award for the writer Will Smith. I haven't seen the show, but I heard it slaps.
First of all, relax. Despite my name, I come in peace.
Then there's my favorite show of the year that got the most nominations and came in with a record amount of wins, and that's Shogun. For guest actor, they got one for Nestor, who I remember being Richard from Lost. For lead actress, they gave it to Anna Sawai, who has been in so many good shows. To me, She's like the sign that if she's in it, the show's gonna be solid.
I was crying before my name was announced. I'm a mess today.
This thing is so good that it was even picking up stuff for its behind the scenes. Like, they won an Emmy for its making of Shogun. They won directing for Frederick E. Otoy, who just admitted from stealing from the greats like Kurosawa. But the biggest win was honoring the lead actor and the person who put it all together, Hiroyuki Sanada. This man is another lost legend, but he's also been the dude who's been making some of the biggest movies dealing with the East and always being an advisor. But this was the first time he was able to take full and total control, and he killed it. Shogun won Best Outstanding Drama Series, and they even gave him the final word so that he can thank them in Japanese. Or at least almost the final word, since for whatever reason, they swapped out comedy to be the last award, and they put drama to be second to last. But either way, I thought it was a pretty solid year, and one where every winner is worth putting on your watch list, because none of them will disappoint. Thank you all for checking out this video. I'm curious to know your thoughts down below in the comments section. And I want to give a big mention to our video sponsor, Kalshi, the first legal exchange set up by MIT grads that lets you trade on any event, including movies, letting you put your movie knowledge to the test. And with award season upon us, you can take that Oscar bracket to the next level by using the site to stay up to date with predictions and what the market is eyeing as a potential winner. And if you're over 21, you can even place a bid on the pick you trust. So if I place a bid on my favorite actresses at 24 cents on the dollar, that's a 300% return just if they get nominated. So if you're interested in testing out your Oscar picks, click the link down below to sign up, and the first 500 traders have a chance to get a free $20 credit post-deposit. Other than that, a big shout out to Fallout, which is another really great show, Fargo, which I've already mentioned. I thought it was a really good year for TV, to the point that, like, there's so much to still catch up on, but even in animation, like, I've been rooting for X-Men 97, and that got beat up by Blue Samurai, which, like, I also can't complain because that's a solid show. Reservoir Dogs finally wrapped up, and DeFaro was out there, you know, making a stance also, and that's a show that I wish everyone from there either gets another season or that they're able to do other stuff. And when it came to presenters, I will say, at the end, I know they switched it up a little bit, but O'Hara was hilarious as usual. Her ripping up the thing, fantastic. Other than that, I'm curious to know what show stood out to you, what should have been nominated, what series you're looking forward to, and until next time, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and Cousin will drop off a beat for you.